G'day YouTube. Warbles on a lot here. Welcome. To sunset on the 20th of April 2020. Today being the 250th anniversary of the very first time Lieutenant Commander James Cook ever saw Australia. Welcome to the anniversary of the Overture of the commencement of Australia's frontier war. In 10 days' time, on the 29th, we will reach the anniversary of the day upon which Lieutenant Commander James Cook fired the first shot. 3 of them. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. 25 years ago, I asked one of the local tribal elders if it'd be all right for me to make and paint and sell boomerangs and bull roarers. And he said, yeah, if you can explain Aboriginal technology to the white fellas, that would have to be an improvement. And he said, unforgettably, if the white fellas stayed in the same track, running down the same groove that they've been running along for the past 200 years, he said, in another 100 years, there won't be any of them left. That was 25 years ago. We're coming up to the 250th anniversary of the firing of the first shots in Australia's frontier war of occupation. I've watched 10% of Australia's occupation occur since those words were spoken to me. And I don't think that old fellow was wrong. When all is said and all is done, as we approach the 250th anniversary of the first shots to be fired in the frontier war, yeah, I don't think the tribal elder was wrong. Time to raise a glass in mourning and get a little bit drunk. Considering and grieving over all that has been lost. As a direct result of Lieutenant Commander James Cook, having seen the eastern shore of Australia 250 years ago today. The oldest continually practiced culture on the face of the planet. The only culture that stayed in place for 40,000 years. The oldest continually practiced religion on the planet. Fed to the voracious appetites of European market demands. $250 ago today, Lieutenant Commander James Cook spotted Australia. And as the old song goes, rule Britannia, marmalade and jam. 5 Chinese crackers up your asshole, bang, 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 bang. Rule Britannia, the imperial realm upon which the sun never set. Marmalade and jam, prosperity for Britons in Britain. 5 Chinese crackers up your arsehole, because gunpowder's a Chinese invention. Bang, 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 bang! Because there's none more savage than the British when it comes to asserting their proprietary desires. I suppose Prince Leopold's Congo might be placed on the other side of the scales while weighing the truth of that assertion. But Leopold's Congo was operated by British shipping lines. There is that. Anyway, 250 years ago, Jimmy Cook, a Yorkshire farmer's son, sailing a converted collier, dispatched to take a bunch of astronomers to Tahiti, tasked with being there in 1769 in June to observe the transit of Venus across the sun. They were actually hoping he could find evidence of a planet called Vulcan, and when he failed to find Vulcan, as a consolation prize, he claimed the continent of Australia for the English king. I really think that in 10 days' time, that's when we should really be commemorating the commencement of the frontier wars, because it was on the 29th of April 1770 that Lieutenant Commander James Cook fired the first 3 shots. The first 2 he deliberately missed an Aboriginal, a warrior, a man who stood up there. And here's a piece of historical revisionism. I was always taught that the man yelled out, "Wurraah! Wurraah! Wah, wurraah!" And I was told that that meant go away. That's apparently what the people who heard him on the white side of the equation conjectured. I recently heard on a program titled Away, A-W-A-Y-E, I heard a bloke from that particular part of the country, south of Sydney on the coast, and he explained that wurraah means they're dead. Wah means they're all. Wurraah, they're dead. Wurraah, wurraah, wah, wah, wurraah. They're dead, they're dead, they're all dead. Because white was the colour of death in Aboriginal religious, spiritual, tribal lore, L-O-R-E. Wurraah, wurraah, wah, wah, wurraah. Dead, dead. They're all dead. That bloke who said that almost 250 years ago, he thought he was talking about Captain Cook. Oops, Lieutenant Commander Cook. He wasn't a captain at that point. He didn't become a captain until after he got home to England, after his first Pacific voyage. But yeah, the fellow who yelled out, wurraah, wurraah, wah, wah, wurraah, he thought he was talking about the spirits of his ancestors who'd returned because white was the colour of death. Lieutenant Commander James Cook and his men may not have been dead the first time the Aborigines saw him, almost 250 years ago. But don't forget, today's only the anniversary of the first time Jimmy Cook saw Australia. But the downstream consequences of his visit back then, in the way back when, it certainly brought an awful lot of death here to the Australian continent. Because Jimmy Cook showed them the way. He told them how to get here. And 250 years ago today, the Yorkshire farmer's son first spotted Oz. And he spotted Oz just as the Industrial Revolution was about to kick off. What a curiosity. Apparently no empire lasts longer than 250 years. Or so they say. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Happy 250 years since Captain Cook, or oops, Lieutenant Commander Cook, spotted Australia Day. 19th of April 2020. As COVID rages the world, and I think Britain seems to be coming almost second behind the excited status of Norte Armed Americano in the death toll stakes. Pretty sure I've never heard or read of anything indicating that Captain Cook brought any actual diseases to Australia, but there was a hell of a lot brought here in 1788 by Governor Arthur Phillip. But that's a different story. Anyway, warbles on a lot to YouTube. Happy Cook Spots Australia Day anniversary. Ciao.